After months of silence, cryptic posts, and heartbreaking hospital visits, Chrisean Rock
Aaron. Oh. Just to make sure. Oh, I'm so sorry. My goodness. Question.
has finally confirmed what fans feared the most. Her son, Junior, has been diagnosed with a permanent medical condition. And the emotional weight of this moment, it's heavier than anything we've seen from her before. From Blueface's online chaos to Chrisean's controversial parenting journey, the drama has always been front and center. But this time, it's not about clout. It's not about music. It's about life and legacy. And when she sat down with the doctor for what should have been just another checkup, the words she heard would change her entire world. It's permanent. There's no reversing this. Sources close to the situation say Chrisean broke down in tears.
Real, you can say whatever. That's everything I'm gonna say it. Feel me? Like, you can say whatever. But I'm telling y'all, it's funny.
Clutching her son while trying to process the devastating reality. No cameras, no filters. It's just a mother facing the truth head-on. What exactly is Junior battling? How did the diagnosis come to light? And why is this revelation already setting off a storm across social media? Stay locked in as we break down Chrisean's emotional confirmation, the doctor's shocking diagnosis, and what this could mean for her future. Not as a celebrity, but as a mother, it started with whispers and innocent questions from fans, clips of Chrisean Rock in the pediatric waiting room, and subtle changes in her energy. A woman known for her wild spirit, unpredictable behavior, and raw presence online, Chrisean Rock began moving differently. Her posts became more emotional, her tone more reflective. Then one person was always by her side, her baby boy Junior. From the day she gave birth to Junior, the world watched closely. Not because they were waiting to celebrate, but because the internet had already judged her unfiltered, misunderstood, and wrapped in Blueface's public toxicity. But what no one expected was how fiercely Chrisean would fight for her son for months. There were signs something wasn't right. JR wasn't hitting some of the milestones most babies his age had reached. In multiple live streams, fans pointed out how quiet he was, how he didn't respond to noise, or how his motor skills seemed delayed. Some even accused Chrisean of neglect, as if their assumptions were fact. But what they didn't know was that behind the scenes, Chrisean was terrified. She had been visiting doctors, running tests, doing therapy evaluations, and trying to hold herself together while her world started cracking. Then, earlier this week, everything came crashing down in a deeply emotional live stream, her eyes swollen, her voice shaking. Chrisean finally spoke the truth. I didn't want to believe it at first. I thought maybe he was just growing slow, like all babies do their own thing. But the doctors, they told me it's real. My baby got something permanent. It's not going to change. The chat blew up instantly. People asked what the diagnosis was. Was it neurological? Was it developmental? Could it be cured? Chrisean took a deep breath and said, I ain't ready to say the name yet. But it's something that affects how he hears, how he moves, and how he's gonna grow up. They told me it's something he was born with. Ain't nobody's fault, but it's forever. That one word hit harder than anything. Forever. For the first time. The woman who usually screamed into the camera or clapped back at critics, this was just a mother. Raw humans broken. And while Chrisean didn't say the condition outright, fans began piecing together what it could be. Some speculated cerebral palsy. Others guessed sensory neural hearing loss, or even autism spectrum disorder. But what mattered most wasn't the label, it was the confirmation that JR's condition was lifelong. Immediately after the live stream, devoted supporters flooded her with prayers, well wishes, and offers to help. Parents of children with disabilities reached out, sharing stories, photos, and resources. For the first time in a long time, the energy online wasn't mockery, it was compassion. But not everyone was kind. Some trolls used the moment to throw shade. One particularly cruel tweet read, "So now she wants sympathy. Where was all this love when she was acting crazy on Zeus?" Another wrote, "Maybe if you weren't smoking and fighting while pregnant, this wouldn't have happened." But those who understand how genetics, trauma, brown birth complications actually work were quick to shut that down. One fan responded, "This ain't about her past. This is about a mother trying to show up for her child in the face of something she can't control." And Chrisean, she didn't clap back. She stayed off social media for over 48 hours, the longest she's gone quiet in months. But while she was offline, the truth started surfacing from sources close to her camp. According to a pediatric therapist who allegedly worked with Junior, the diagnosis involved a combination of motor delays and hearing impairment, possibly due to congenital sensorineural hearing loss, a condition that impacts how the brain processes sound signals, making speech development and balance a major challenge. The most heartbreaking part, the doctor reportedly told Chrisean, "It's permanent. But it's manageable. He can still live a full, meaningful life with the right support." Those words echoed in her mind for days. Friends close to her say she broke down in the car. Outside the clinic, she just sat there, holding Junior, staring at the parking lot. No words, no phone. Just tears. One witness told a blog, "I've never seen her that quiet. She kept kissing him on the forehead and whispering, 'I got you. I got you.' It was like she was promising him the whole world." And in that moment, Chrisean realized this was bigger than fame, bigger than Blueface, bigger than anything she's ever fought for. She began calling specialists. She hired a new team to handle early intervention therapy, speech support, and medical consultations. And for the first time, sources say she started creating a structured daily routine, not for the cameras, but for JR's future. "She's serious," a friend said. "She's switching up everything, even cut off some people who weren't, helping her grow. Junior is her whole focus now." But while Chrisean was transforming, others were trying to profit. Just hours after the live stream, multiple gossip pages began posting unverified medical records, claiming to have proof of JR's condition. They blurred his name but didn't blur the pain. This invasion of privacy sent fans into defense mode. "Leave that baby out of it. Y'all really trying to get clicks off a child's medical file? This is why celebrities don't tell y'all nothing." And they were right, even in the face of something so deeply personal. Chrisean's battle wasn't just with the diagnosis. It was with the world watching her process it. But something changed in her after the confirmation. She wasn't just reacting. She started moving intentionally. In an IG story posted the next morning, she wrote, "God picked me to be his mom, not y'all. So I'ma love him through it all, no matter what." The post included a short video of Junior lying on her chest, holding her finger, his eyes wide and locked onto hers. The moment was quiet, no music, no filters, and it said more than words ever could. Chrisean's evolution had begun, but there's still more to uncover. In part 2, we're breaking down what insiders are saying about Blueface's reaction to the diagnosis, how this news is already affecting custody talks, and the emotional tension building behind the scenes that could push this family over the edge or pull them together. As the dust began to settle after Chrisean's emotional live stream, fans and insiders alike began turning their attention to one person who had remained noticeably silent through it all, Blueface. The rapper, who had been in and out of JR's life from the beginning, had always kept his public comments about fatherhood controversial at best, from questioning the child's paternity early on to blasting Chrisean online during her pregnancy. His involvement with his son had always been rocky, unpredictable, and drenched in drama. So when Chrisean confirmed that Junior had been diagnosed with a permanent medical condition, many wondered, would Blueface step up or disappear completely? The answer? Somewhere in between, and that's where the storm really started. According to sources close to the situation, Blueface was informed about JR's diagnosis days before Chrisean's livestream. But his reaction behind the scenes shocked everyone. He was cold, one insider claimed. Didn't ask too many questions. Just said, "What y'all want me to do about it?" and walked off. That reaction spread like wildfire through their circle, and by the time the public heard Chrisean's side, Blueface's silence had become louder than any statement. But while he didn't go live or drop any official posts, Blueface made a series of subliminal tweets just hours after the news broke. One read, "Every choice has consequences, even the ones made before birth." Another said, "Don't come running to me now, not Superman." Fans immediately assumed these were shots at Chrisean, and the backlash was swift. "This man is disgusting. That's your son." It's more worried about blame than support. Chrisean doing it alone, like always. Chrisean didn't respond directly, but insiders say she was heartbroken by his reaction. She didn't expect a miracle, one friend explained, but she thought he'd at least ask how the baby was doing. He didn't even do that. Instead, Blueface allegedly told mutual friends to tell her to handle her business, a phrase that hit Chrisean like a slap in the face. But as cold as he seemed, the situation is far more complicated behind the scenes. Custody talks between Chrisean and Blueface had already been underway in private. But JR's diagnosis may change everything. Here's what we know. Chrisean currently has full physical custody of Junior. Blueface has limited legal custody, but has not pursued court-ordered visitation now with JR's diagnosis confirmed. Child support, medical responsibilities, and decision-making authority are all back on the table. The tension is boiling. A family attorney who spoke off the record said, "When a child has a permanent medical condition, the court takes that very seriously. The parent who's involved in the care, the therapy, the appointments, they usually get more say in legal matters. If Blueface stays distant, he risks losing all decision-making rights." And here's the kicker. Sources say Chrisean is preparing to file official documents to establish sole legal custody, especially now that Junior needs specialized care. That means Blueface would no longer have a say in medical decisions. He'd be legally obligated to provide financial support. Regardless of how involved he is, and if he refuses, Chrisean could take him back to court for child support enforcement and the internet. They're here for it. About time she protected her baby legally. Let the court remind him what real responsibility looks like. You don't get to disappear when things get hard. Meanwhile, Chrisean has already begun rebuilding her circle. Sources say she's cut ties with toxic influences, fired people who weren't prioritizing Junior, and even moved to a new place with better access to specialists. She's in her mom era for real, a close friend revealed. Everything now is about creating a better life for Junior. She's reportedly secured a full-time therapist for early intervention A, pediatric neurologist, private hearing specialist A, new manager who has experience working with celebrity moms, and, perhaps most impressively, she's been paying for it all herself. Despite having brand deals paused due to past controversies, Chrisean has been investing every check, every promo, every opportunity into JR's care. But that hasn't stopped the emotional toll. In a recent voice memo leaked to a gossip site, Chrisean can be heard sobbing, saying, "I don't know if I'm enough. I want to be everything he needs, but I'm scared. What if I mess up?" It was raw, vulnerable, and real. And for fans who once doubted her, it was a wake-up call. This isn't just a storyline for the blogs anymore. This is a mother fighting for her child's future in silence, under pressure, and without a partner. But Chrisean isn't alone entirely. Other celebrities have begun to quietly reach out. Summer Walker allegedly sent her a voice message offering words of comfort. Kik Palmer, who recently went public with her own parenting struggles, posted a tweet saying, "Being a mother is the hardest role, especially when you're in the spotlight. Prayers up for Chrisean and her baby." And while Chrisean hasn't responded to these publicly, sources say the support means everything right now. But what about Junior? Sources close to the family say he's responding well to therapy so far. while his condition is permanent. Early signs suggest he has a strong chance of developing communication skills with the right care. His smile, his alertness, and his bond with Chrisean are all signs of progress. He recognizes her voice, laughs when she sings. He's trying to sit up more. A family member shared, and despite all the noise, Chrisean remains focused. No drama, no distractions, just GR. In fact, her next big move, Foundation.insiders reveal that Chrisean is in early talks to launch a nonprofit dedicated to helping young mothers of children with disabilities, particularly those in the hip-hop and urban communities who often get overlooked. The goal: free therapy, referrals, parenting workshops, financial assistance for medical bills online. Support groups for young moms. She wants to turn her pain into purpose, a rep said. She doesn't want any mother to feel as alone as she did. Foundation may take time, but it's coming. When it does, it may become the most powerful chapter of Chrisean's story yet. But first, still one thing the world is waiting for, and it could either heal this family or end it forever. In part 3, we dive into the rumors surrounding Blueface's final response. The emotional letter he reportedly sent Chrisean after ghosting her, and the massive interview she's planning to finally reveal JR's diagnosis, name and all, as the world anxiously awaited Blueface's formal reaction to his son's diagnosis. A stunning development came out of nowhere: a handwritten letter, allegedly from Blueface himself, addressed to Chrisean Rock. The letter, leaked by a mutual friend, sent shockwaves across social media and media outlets. Not because of what it said, but because of how different it sounded from the man fans had come to expect. The note read, "I don't know how to be a father to a child with special needs. I barely know how to be a father to the ones I already got. But I don't hate you, and I don't hate him. I just feel lost. I'm not running. I'm scared. Maybe you're stronger than me." Those final words, "maybe you're stronger than me," sparked a massive firespark. A massive reaction. Fans flooded the internet with mixed emotions. Some said Blueface was finally showing emotional honesty. Others accused him of using a letter to avoid taking responsibility. But most agreed on one thing: this was the most human thing he'd done in months, whether it was an act of guilt or a genuine moment of vulnerability. The impact on Chrisean was instant. Insiders say she read the letter multiple times, alone, crying. Before sharing it with her inner circle, she didn't expect it, a close friend said, but it gave her clarity. She realized she was waiting on something from Blueface that might never come a partnership, when she knew it was time to close the chapter. And just like that, Chrisean Rock made the boldest decision of her life. According to her legal team, she's moving forward with sole legal custody of Junior, not just for medical decisions, but for everything. Travel, therapy, education, future, surgeries, public image. Every detail will now fall under her control. And guess what? Blueface didn't contest it, whether out of guilt, fear of public backlash, or true acceptance. He let it happen without a fight. His team issued a vague statement saying, "At this time, we support what's best for Junior. That's all we have to say." But Chrisean wasn't done yet. In a move that stunned her critics and silenced her doubters, she sat down for an exclusive interview with a major media platform. This wasn't a messy Instagram live or a rant-filled post. This was a formal sit-down in a calm setting with a respected journalist. And during that interview, she finally revealed the truth. "My son has sensorineural hearing loss, and it's permanent. Kay may need hearing aids, therapy, maybe even surgery down the line. But he's not broken. He's strong. He's still learning. And I'm going to be right there every step of the way." The tears welled up as she spoke, but her voice never cracked. She continued, "They told me it couldn't be reversed. At first, I blamed myself. I kept asking, was it something I did? But it wasn't. And even if it was, this is my child. I love him more because of what we've been through." The interview went viral instantly. Clips were posted all over TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. For once, the narrative wasn't about drama or chaos. It was about growth, resilience, real motherhood. Suddenly, Chrisean Rock was no longer just a reality star or a hip-hop wildcard. She was something much more powerful, a symbol of strength. And as if that wasn't enough, the journalist asked her the question everyone was thinking. What would you say to Blueface if he were watching this right now? Chrisean paused, then said, I forgive you, but you missed out. He needed you and you weren't there, and maybe you'll come around one day. But until then, I got him. That clip alone got over 6 million views in 24 hours. Even major celebs like Taraji P. Henson, Viola Davis, and Ciara reposted it, praising her for her honesty and bravery. But Chrisean wasn't done giving back. Following the interview, she officially launched the JR's Journey Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting families with children facing hearing loss and other developmental disorders. The foundation's goals: provide funding for hearing aids and therapy, offer single mothers access to trusted medical resources, host workshops about parenting children with special needs, create a safe, online space where young moms can connect and share. In just the first week, the foundation raised over $250,000 in donations, all going directly to kids like Junior. And perhaps most moving of all, Chrisean posted a video from the foundation's first event. In it, she holds Junior close, lifts a mic to his mouth, and softly says, "Say hi, baby." JR, wearing a tiny hearing aid, giggles, then lets out a loud, joyful sound. The crowd melts. Online, the clip goes viral again. That moment healed me. This little boy is going to change the world. Chrisean is turning pain into purpose. But just as things were looking up, Blueface re-entered the conversation with a twist. Sources close to his camp say he now wants to spend more time with JR, not for publicity, not for content, but because he feels something he's never felt before. His mom, Carlisa, allegedly pushed him to reconsider. "That's your son," she reportedly said. "Whatever he's got going on, he needs you. You ain't got no excuse now." But Chrisean has drawn clear boundaries. "I'm open to him being around," she told the interviewer. "But it has to be consistent. No drama, no games." JR's healing doesn't need to be interrupted. And that's where the story stands now. A young mother, once judged by the world, has stepped into her power. A baby boy, once seen as a question mark, is now the heartbeat of a movement. And a community once divided is finally coming together. Not around gossip, but around growth. This wasn't the story anyone expected. But it's the one we all needed. Because at the end of the day, Chrisean Rock showed us what real strength looks like. It's not shouting, fighting, or going viral. It's in showing up every single day. For someone who depends on you completely. She didn't just confirm JR's condition. She confirmed her purpose. And whether or not Blueface ever truly steps up, one thing's for sure. That little boy is loved. He's protected. And he's got a mother who will fight the whole world for him. This story wasn't about clout, chaos, or controversy. It was about truth, strength, and a mother's love. Chrisean Rock has gone from viral headlines to becoming a voice for parents raising children with unique needs.